Namaste, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Colleen. I am going to be guiding you through your yoga practice today. So in this video, we are going to be exploring a nice gentle practice. So yoga practice for when you're on your period. If you're anything like me, then you might suffer from bad period pain. When it comes to that time of the month, you might feel low on energy, and the thought of doing an energizing or a high impact exercise or movement seems like hell, then this video is for you. We're going to be slowing down. We're going to take the time to feel into our postures. We're going to explore a nice gentle movement in a way to honor and respect this time of slowing down. This time of reflection, of tuning into your body and honoring what it needs. So in this practice, I'm going to be using a blanket to keep myself nice and cozy. If you've got one, please grab one as well. And I'll be using a bolster. If you have a bolster, great. If you don't, completely fine. You can use two bed pillows instead. So grab what you need, pop on something comfy, and we'll get started lying on our backs. So we want to lie on our backs, taking ourselves into our butterfly pose. So we want to take the soles of the feet together here, letting the hips open. You can take your blanket and just pop it on top of you to keep yourself cozy and warm. And then we're going to just rub the hands together. So creating a little bit of heat between the palms, getting the energy flowing here. And then once we feel like we've built up some heat in our hands, we're going to place our hands onto our stomach. So into a womb mudra with the hand. So you want the thumbs touching and your index fingers touching. So making this triangle with your hands. And we're going to place our hands just onto the lower stomach. You can roll your shoulder blades down the spine, then softening the eyes or taking a soft gaze. Start to connect with yourself. Connect with your body. Perhaps right now you're feeling cramps or lethargic. Your emotions can run high at this time as well. And rather than judging ourselves or trying to push away any of these feelings, really allowing yourself just to be in this space. To just show up exactly as you are in this moment. Finding an acceptance with ourselves. And at this time of the month, we are encouraged to listen to ourselves, to listen to our bodies, be assessing what it is your body needs. What it is you need. Throughout this practice, seeing if you can respect that. honor that. Let's take a few deep breaths here together. So just empty any breath you have just now. Taking an inhale through the nose, feeling the stomach, rib cage, chest expand. Pause the breath at the top. And then slowly letting go. Inhale breath. Pause. And let go. Inhale. Pause. And let go. Let's take one more like this. Inhale breath. Hold. And let go. And throughout your practice, just seeing if you can come back to this breath as often as you need. Releasing and letting go a little bit more with each exhale. So from here, you can guide your knees together. Maybe just pop your blanket to one side. And we're going to take the knees into our chest. Give them a gentle squeeze. Maybe a little rock from side to side. And we'll start to draw two separate circles with the knees. So draw both knees in towards the chest, out to the sides, together away from the chest, and then back in. So working with softening out your lower back, working into your hip mobility a little bit here. Just noticing how this movement feels. How do the hips feel? How does the back feel? And then going in the opposite direction. And we'll keep our right knee in towards our chest and lengthen through our left leg, letting the leg soften down to your mat. Let's draw the right knee wide and take the sole of the right foot up towards sky. So coming into a half happy baby pose for the right side. Now you can place the sole of the left foot onto the mat with the knee looking up, or you can just keep the leg lengthened. Maybe bringing your left hand onto your left hip, encouraging the hip to melt down towards the floor. We're going to take a few nourishing breaths in our half happy baby pose. And by slowing down our breaths, we're encouraging our minds, our bodies to slow down. Calming our nervous system. Okay, then letting the right leg relax down onto your mat and swapping over legs, taking half happy baby pose for the left side. Again, either lengthening through the leg or taking the sole of the foot onto your mat. And from here, coming into full happy baby pose, you can take hold of the feet, the legs, the ankles, just wherever feels good for you today. Maybe taking a little rock of the hips from side to side. And you can drop the eyes closed here or throughout your whole practice if you'd like, and just let yourself draw inwards. Let's see if you can find a little bit stillness here. Notice how it feels to draw the tailbone down. And then from here, taking both knees into your chest, giving them a gentle squeeze again, maybe rounding the nose up towards the knees. And from here, you can come onto your side and begin to press all the way up into a seated position. So let's come back into this butterfly shape with the legs here. And taking the left hand slightly away from the body, reaching the right hand all the way over the ear for a side stretch. Slightly rotating the chest up, and you can take your gaze up. So we want to find length all the way from the right middle finger down to the right sit bone. Come through center and then swapping over sides. Taking the left arm up and over the ear. And then coming back through center, you can take hold of your feet, opening them a little bit like a book here, or even giving yourself a little foot massage, just pressing the thumbs into the soles of the feet, sending your feet, yourself some love, especially at this time. Practicing nurturing yourself, taking care of yourself. And then you can grab hold of your bolster or your pillows and just placing them on top of the feet. If you'd like, you can grab hold of your blanket here as well, and then just pop it over your body. We're going to let ourselves come into a little bit of a fold here, so you can even stack your fists down onto your bolster here. Maybe it feels good just to take the forehead all the way down, or another option is to take it further up and let your chin come down onto the bolster. So just assessing what option feels best for you right now. What does your body need? And seeing if we can bring our minds back onto our breaths. So noticing the air flowing gently in and out the body. Where do you feel your breath? How deep can you breathe? And starting to lift back up. Just pop your props to one side here. And then we'll make our way into our tabletop position. So taking the hands underneath the shoulders with the fingers spread wide and your knees underneath your hips. Taking some cat and cow movement here. On the inhale breath, dropping the stomach, lifting the head and tailbone up to sky. Then as you exhale, rounding through the spine, tuck your chin to your chest. Inhale to drop and lengthen. Exhale to round. Inhale breath. And exhale. And coming back to your neutral spine, start to find a little bit of freedom in your movement here. So maybe that looks like a little sway of the hips from side to side, or you can start to make circles with the body, maybe circling out the neck, the hips. And not worrying so much about what this movement looks like, just what it feels like. How does your body want to move here? What feels good for it just now? And then coming back through center. Let's walk our hands slightly further forward on our mat, tuck our toes under, and then begin to send our hips up into sky for our first downward facing dog. So starting to pedal out the feet, so shifting the weight from one foot to the other. Notice how your legs are feeling, how the shoulders feel. Just taking your time in this movement here, so you can pause and hold on one leg before you switch to the other. And from here, we're going to sweep the right foot up into sky, find a three-legged dog. Step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. You can use your hands to get there. Let's drop the back knee down onto our mat, coming into our lizard pose. So you can stay on the forearms, drop down to the forearms or stay up on the hands. The choice is up to you. And maybe deciding if you would prefer stillness here, or maybe you'd like a little bit of movement, just finding a gentle sway or rock from side to side. And this practice is all about you just tuning inwards, so listening to yourself and not worrying about if you're doing something different to me, just about what you need right now. And if you're on the forearms, come back up onto the hands. We're going to keep our left hand down and open the right hand up to sky for a twist here. Maybe seeing if you can let the hips sink a little bit closer to your mat. Then taking the right hand back down. And then either you can step back to tabletop or to downward facing dog. Your choice. We're going to swap over legs, so coming back up into downward facing dog, sweeping the left foot up into sky. From here, stepping the left foot to the outside of the left hand, letting the right knee drop onto your mat. So you want a little bit space here to let the hips sink. So if you're finding that your right knee is too close, then just sliding the knee back So you'll feel this drop of the hips and lift of the heart. And again, either stillness or movement here up in the hands or down on the forearms. Just a few more breaths here. And in this pose, we're working with one of our chakras, our sacral chakra, which is connected to our sexual organs. So these hip openers, lizard pose, happy baby, we're all working with that energetic center in our bodies, helping to balance our sacral chakra, which is connected to the element of water. And like water, our emotions flow, they come, they go. So just noticing how you feel. Maybe emotions come up for you throughout this practice. And that's completely okay. If you're on the forearms, come back up onto the hands. So keeping the right hand down and lifting the left hand up to sky for a twist. Option to let the hips sink a little bit closer to your mat here. Then we'll take the hand back down onto our mat and let's slide our left knee back. Then we're going to grab hold of our bolster or bed pillows again and pop them in front of the body. So having the bolster or pillows quite close to you is going to let your torso soften down a little bit more to it. If you would prefer, you can take the bolster slightly further away from you and just have the forehead on it. Grab hold of your blanket and then letting yourself soften down onto it. So we're finding this nice restorative variation of a child's pose. And you can decide where you'd like the hands to go, the head to go. Maybe now closing down the eyes and really seeing if you can let yourself be held by the props underneath you. Letting yourself be supported. Letting yourself find a moment of stillness. How does it feel to let yourself be held? To let yourself be supported and comforted. Can you relax your body anymore? Scanning the body and seeing if there's anywhere that you're gripping or holding on to tension. With each exhale breath, letting that go a little bit more. Okay, take a deep breath here. Inhale through nose. And then exhale through the mouth. We're slowly going to lift back up from our props here and just pushing them forward so that we can come into a wide-legged seated position. So extending the legs as wide as feels comfortable for you today. And again, grabbing hold of your props, taking them in front of the body, finding a little bit length through your spine, active through the feet, so pulling the toes towards you, pressing through the heels, and then on your next exhale, letting yourself fold down forward. There's lots of options you can take here. The hands underneath the chin, or the forehead down onto fists. That option to hug into your prop here as well, as they are resting side of the face or the chin down onto it. Notice which variation feels best for you today, and that might look different to at different times when you practice. So maybe different times in your cycle, maybe you feel today that you can get further into these stretches, or maybe you feel like you need to ease out of them, and that is completely fine. So again, we want to find this softness to the body. So relaxing through the face and the jaw. So we're not trying to force or strain, we're just allowing. And then lifting and rising back up. Moving your props, we're going to come back on to our backs. So when we arrive on our backs, let's take the soles of our feet onto our mats, and we want to grab hold of our props. So taking a supported bridge pose, we want to lift the hips up into sky and see if we can slide our bolster or pillows underneath the base of your spine. And then letting the hands relax either side of your body. Drawing the palms to look up towards sky. You can keep your feet connected to your mat, or if you want, you can lengthen through the legs here. And what you'll find with this variation is almost like gravity is pressing the hips down to the support of your props underneath you. You can try both variations and see which one is best suited for you today. And letting your mind arrive back onto your breath. Feel the full expansion of the stomach and the inhale. And then really letting go with your exhale. And if the legs are extended out long, come back onto the soles of your feet. And we're going to see how it feels to lift the feet off of our mat. So you can keep the knees bent here, or maybe lengthening the legs up. Feel free to readjust your props underneath you if you need to. It might feel good just to take a big sigh here, really letting go. And just take the legs back down, lifting the hips off of your prop, and then just rolling it or sliding it out from underneath you. And keeping the feet onto your mat, take the feet about hip distance apart. You can extend your arms wide or cactus the arms. We're going to let our legs fall to the right here and bringing the gaze over the left shoulder. And sort of finding a bit of an external rotation for the right hip and an internal rotation for the left hip. A little bit of a twist. If you would prefer just to relax the left knee on top of the right, you can take that variation instead. And allowing the knees to fall over to the left and bringing your gaze to the right. and coming back through center. We're going to come into our final relaxation, shavasana. You can come into your reclined butterfly pose or traditional shavasana. It might feel quite nice to take the bolster or pillows underneath your knees here, and then grabbing hold of your blanket and just putting it over your body and allowing yourself to soften back down to your mat. Hands either side of the body, palms look up, and taking one shoulder rolled down the spine, softening the gaze or closing down the eyes. If you'd like to come back to your womb mudra, taking the hands onto the lower stomach here, you can. And just allowing yourself to find a little bit of stillness, a little bit of softness, a little bit of calm. Letting your full body completely relax now. Giving yourself the permission to be still. I'm going to end this video here, but please stay in your shavasana for as long as you would like. I want to thank you for joining me in this practice. Wish you a wonderful rest of your day, rest of your week. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Thank you.